out there. You know, and when, if QF or Ducks Unlimited is somebody that has their own insurance, if we're to operate this range, do we have authority to allow them to operate at the range?
So I think the agreement being exclusively with your group is just that we can't go into an agreement with someone else. I don't know that there's anything, and unfortunately Andy had a meeting tonight, who be here, who drafted the agreement, but I don't think there's anything that would preclude you from coming into agreements with other groups. It's just the agreement that we have would be with just your organization in the city.
Right. Well, like we proposed in our proposal, we would operate the range. There would always be, you know, track club coach in attendance at any other operation, anything that would be done out there. With this type of thing, Dan and I we can see a lot of fundraising events, you know, with the shooting league, the Quell Forever, since we do partner with them very well. They have a group insurance for their youth activities that would tie together with us, that we could operate under their insurance. So I wouldn't want to, it wouldn't be opened up just to general public. It'd have to be another group or something that would operate under our guidelines.
So like you said that the coaches are always going to be out there, correct?
Well, yeah, if we have an event or something like that, you could write it in the agreement that a coach would be on hand for any type of activity.
I mean, the way I'm understanding from what you said, as long as the agreement, like I said, is with you all, as long as you're out there, we're not going to micromanage who's out there.
Well, that's what I want to eliminate, is to run to you and say, hey, you know, they're gonna have an event, can we open it up for them? Or, you know, to go back and forth. We've been pretty responsible, and if we take this very seriously, the shooting sports. So that would be something to consider. While you're thinking about that, the other item it almost ties to it is in the obligations of the team under item C, not allow anyone on the property other than team members and coaches during practices. We have parents bring the kids. We have to have parents there. Sometimes the parents keep score for us. You know, they're not really a range safety officer. They're not a coach. They're a scorekeeper. So
that's, to me, and you correct me if I'm wrong, to me, that's part of the team. I mean, parents are part of the team. And I said, especially if you're driving your kids out there, and I don't see that being a concern.
Yeah, I mean, we can certainly revise the language to have it say.
I just
more
want to
specifically.
step on anybody's toes, but
No.
you know, sending the parents home. But you'd understand. You're under the understanding that the team involves their parents too.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right. So that would be the only, I think that's the only questions, you know, Dan and I, because we would really appreciate the Quell Forever with their donations that they do for us, our major fundraiser for us, to not shut them off completely of even using the facility. So if we have control of it, that's the type. Now, like I say, we're not going to open it up to flea markets and have a circus out there or anything like that. It'd be, you know, run under the team rules.
And you don't have other teams come in like from Fall City and have a competition.
Well, that's another thing that we'd like to do with the way the league is set up, where we just turn our scores in online. We don't have to travel anywhere but to the state tournament. But Fall City, Sabetha, there's several other schools that you know, they probably have their own insurance wherever they go. So if Sabetha's belongs to the Kansas League, when they shoot, if they can come over here and shoot with us, and we do the same thing, as long as we're shooting under the Kansas Clay Target League, we're covered with insurance.
Would you expect to have designated area for visitors or parents and.
I'd like to, my vision would probably be to have a fence or a partition. To where, you know, they don't get
On this line.
right behind the line, both cities got a fence up back there, and we'd probably construct some type of cable barrier or something just for spectators. And usually, like we adhere to this real strongly in Falls City, if you're behind the line, if you're up around the shooting lines or scorekeeping or anything, you wear the same safety protection as all the shooters do. Hearing protection, eye protection, the same falls with them.
Could you real briefly, I guess, describe how your range would be laid out on that property?
I did not,
Either filling in the,
I didn't get the
kind
attachment.
of filling in the mud run thing that was there, but
Right.
where exactly would you be? I know you'd be shooting east, but.
We're
Would
shooting
are
east,
you shooting over the rifle pile or?
yes, Yes.
Brad and I talked about it a little bit, but
right. There's a power pole.
There is, yes.
Okay, that would probably be as close, put a trap house as close to that as we can.
Yes.
And then the trap houses are generally 90 feet apart. So in that space, I think there's room for 4 trap houses in the big picture.
so that would, the trap houses would be close to the rubble pile or back,
No, they'd run parallel with the rubble pile.
okay,
They'd run north and south, beginning about where the power pole is. And then maybe 90 feet to the north of it would be our first choice for a second house.
and the
That
shoot,
keeps us away from the brush pile.
right, and the shooters would be back where they're filling in the mud run.
About in that area. About in that area. So your station is 16 yards from the house. Most targets drop about 30 yards out. That rubble pile is clear out there at least 100 yards. So it's
Make sure I understand.
practically in the drop zone for shot target shot.
Good place for the debris to fall. in.
Yeah, right.
So, and then the other question I had is, I guess you'd expect the city to continue mowing out there.
That would be appreciated.
All right with that, Brett.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Anyway,
we do it anyway out there and we always have, so I don't see how that'd be.
What was the arrangement with the mud run or the
We can,
old saddle club, I called it and stuff? They probably did that too.
as long as I've been here, we've mowed that property, so
Yeah,
no, I don't see that as a problem at all.
but I'm pretty sure the location, Becky mentioned closing off the brush pile. But I've done some measurements on Google and it's a long ways.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's.
At the angle we shoot, I don't think it would even be shooting towards that.
okay.
So. Yeah.
I was looking at the wrong place, so maybe.
You're fine. Point out anything?
I think we understand. it.
Yeah.
Mud run fields.
Right here.
Yeah.
Really, this area from the end of that little strip, right through this little grassy area, the houses probably would be put almost right in line with that mud strip.
Okay.
And that gives plenty of room for your ball, target, balling, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then from like that space right there really has, if they're 90 feet away from each other, the end one. And then, 2 more in the middle and then, and the other, you could almost have 4 along there.
Yeah. And then whenever you're out there, you'll somehow barricade off.
Yes.
So if somebody comes out there with a dump truck full of stuff, they won't drive it there.
Pretty much. Now they have to come in from the south driveway. Buildings.
Down by the Quonset hut.
Yeah.
That's an excuse to.
Well, I mean, those are good questions. Since Andy's not here, of course, we can't have any definite answers, right? We kind of, especially the one about the wording with just team and team members. So, I mean, I hate to put you off for a couple more weeks, but I want to make sure we figure out if that's how it has to stay, or if we can finesse it in a way that it could say,
If you're okay with us managing the range, then that we're okay with this, if that's
Yeah,
the intent of this.
Well, and it does say allow the team exclusive use of the property described in this agreement. So to me, that, I mean, gives you the ability to manage the property in whatever way you manage it, and you have exclusive use of it, so.
Okay,
and as long as I hear the coaches are there whenever you have any other event. You know, that was kind of my concern. I didn't want it to be just where Paul says like, hey, let's just go down and use it.
yeah,
And I don't want that to happen. I want it to be under control of the Hiawatha Track Club.
yeah. In the past, just as our agreement with this shooting up there, I had some students want to know if they could come out there and shoot. No, you can't unless we're holding a practice, or, you know, the coaches will have to be there. The league specifies we have to have a coach for every 10 students. So we have to, you know, have enough coaches there when we even have our practices.
Well,
That
then,
would be good use of that.
yeah, that's great. I'm glad we can give you a semi-permanent home then. So that would be nice.
Yes, it would. Yeah, we'll take very good care of it. Ann and I are very, you know, respectful for property and stuff. We take care of stuff.
And you have good kids that are going out there too.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Just to know, this is a 5-year agreement. Obviously, as long as everything goes smoothly, we can just do a renewal for another 5 years. Continue that way.
All right, well, thank you for coming in again.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Anything else on that one?
The chamber's request for the Halloween parade, they are possibly going to have porta potties. In the past, they've used the courthouse for bathroom access, and I guess the courthouse has said they can't use the bathrooms. So just FYI, part of that request now is they're gonna have to figure out somewhere to put porta potties, but that's a new addition as of today. So.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda for them. We'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Not, all in favor? Aye. Right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I said,
Motion passed 4-0. Moving on to unsafe or to old business. Number one, the unsafe and dangerous structure at 310 Hiawatha.
So this property was brought up at the last regular meeting on September 25th. And we had a property owner come in and speak with the commission. The discussion at that point was really just kind of trying to get something moving as far as the exterior of the structure itself. The property owner said that they had some supplies and were planning on making some improvements. You know, that there were issues with timing and weather and days off work and that sort of thing. We started this process back in September of 2020, so it's been just over 3 years that this property has been kind of in the forefront of the discussion. I think the property owner is here tonight and probably would like to speak. One of the things that was discussed at the 25th meeting was that the property owner was going to get a third-party inspection to find out if the property met minimum housing codes. And I don't know if that's occurred yet or not, but I guess this is just kind of bringing back to, you know, what's the next step on this and make sure that we're staying on top of it.
I have not got an independent inspection done. There's been a lot of issues, there's been health issues on Rick's part that we're trying to get figured out. And I changed jobs, so I'm working night shift 5 days a week. But I have Thursday and Friday off, I will make phone calls Thursday and Friday. I personally am going to myself, my niece's husband, whatever you want to call him, and my nephew, great nephew, are going to, we'll do the roof ourselves. Since nobody else seems to want to do it, we will get up there and do it. It's getting done. It might happen this week, it might happen next week, it's gonna depend on, the weather. But I'll get it done if it's 20 degrees below zero, it's getting done. Then we can work on that. The site, that's the two big things that seem to be holding. That, how do I want to put this?
Progress,
Huh?
progress.
Yeah, the progress and you guys being upset about it because it needs a new roof and stuff. Yes, we know that. We've got the stuff. It's just getting somebody to get up there and do it. I personally am gonna go up there myself and do it. For the most part, I just have to have help with the steep part. I've got family that's gonna help do that.
It's a nice roof.
Parts of it is, yes. I can do the east side without too much trouble. It's the west side that will have to have a little more trouble, but they can get rent one of them bucket truck things out there on First Street. Figure I'm coming, man, I'm safe.
So
So, I
Brian,
mean, I know how to do it, it's just getting it done.
so Brian, have you done anything as far as a third party inspector?
I haven't had any luck with anybody wanting to get involved.
So, I mean, I think that as far as you're worried about the safety of the foundation, that you're worried the house is gonna fall in on us, blah, blah. That's our problem. That's our risk. Not yours. It's nothing that's gonna cause any problems with you guys. If we want to continue to live there, we want to continue to do this. Then we're taking the responsibility, we're taking the liability. If it falls in on us, it falls in on us. It's our decision.
But the city is also involved just because it isn't up to code. It will meet unsafe and dangerous, and so. I really hate to see on that roof too.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
And I hate to tell you this, but there's a chance of winter be mixed this weekend.
Oh, I already know that. I also work this weekend, so. But
So I guess my next question is, this has been going on for 2 years. Three. So, I mean. And I will say kudos that the yard does it better. I mean, there has been progress there. But it's still not what needs to be worked on, so. I don't know how long we keep doing this.
I guess. That's up to you guys. I don't know. I don't have any answers. I'm telling you what I can do, what I'm gonna do. I'm trying. We had people lined up a year ago or whatever, Brian, to do the roof and that fell through and now nobody wants to do it. I'll get out there and do it myself. I've done it before. I can do it again.
And why won't anybody else do it?
And there was somebody that Brian had set up that was gonna come.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get a hold of him, and he hasn't called me back.
I've had the supplies there for a year.
Mhm.
Oh,
Well, we've given you several time extensions on this thing over the last 3 years, and it just keeps getting further, pushed further and further out. And I know you're trying. I know you've got some materials. I'd like to believe that you're gonna get some stuff done, but yeah, just keep pushing this down the road.
well, so what about a year ago? I wasn't even involved because I didn't even know what was pretty much going on. Okay, since I have gotten involved, you've got to admit there has been progress, a lot of progress. I try my damnedest. I've got a husband in nursing home, I've got a handicapped brother at home that's getting worse and nothing's getting done. We're having a lot of problems with that. I'm doing the best I can. I know that that's not enough for you. I do. But I'm trying. Thursday is supposed to be nice. I have the day off. I can start the roof Thursday. I don't know about Friday, but I have both those days off. I'll be on that roof. Taking off shingles, whatever I need to do, and starting to do at least on the low part. So.
Well, we'll see you back at the next meeting. But at some point, there will be a resolution brought forth to move forward if we don't see any progress.
Okay,
I mean, I guess here I'm acting like I'm the authority here.
but like I
I don't
said,
know what the rest of you think. And this is hard.
I. You think it's hard, what do you think it's like for us?
I know, but I also know that we have standards and we have codes that we're supposed to follow. And
That are applied to some people, but not others, but I'm not going there, I'm not. That's it.
we have to start somewhere.
And it's always with. No, I'm just.
Good choice. So Evans and Dave, where are you guys?
Have you kept up to date with your permits and all?
I'll have a permit by, well, actually, I don't even have to have a permit for doing my own roof.
I think you need a permit.
According to the state,
Permit for replacement.
according to the state, I do not, because I'm doing my own work on my own land.
The city code requires a city code required permit.
I will be up here tomorrow, Wednesday, and I will get, try to get a permit. I don't know if that has to go through the whole city commission meetings or whatever.
No, it doesn't.
Then I will be up here Wednesday. I get paid Tuesday night. I will be up here Wednesday. I will have a permit, and unless it's pouring down raining, I will be on the road Thursday. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like. I know it's supposed to be in the 70s or something like that, so. It should be a decent day. But
It's almost getting too cold to do the roof right now, unfortunately, though. If you do them now, they're not gonna seal up and they'll probably end up blowing off over the winter in the wind.
okay, so when am I supposed to do it? You guys want it done? I gotta do it when I can do it, Brian.
All I'm saying is I don't want you to put a roof on and then it blow off and then be right back up next year.
We have to see progress. We say this every meeting. We have to see
Okay.
progress, whatever that's
I-
gonna look like.
Even if it's just a short half. You know, I'm willing to replace that again in a year if I have to. But I want to get it started. I want to show progress. And that part I can do myself. With a little bit of supervision from Rick.
I'm fine with it. I just don't want you to be throwing money away basically either.
So,
Okay, this will come back up in 2 weeks. Whatever our next meeting is, November 13th. Yes. November 13th.
November 13th, okay, I'll be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Gotta do a motion to take.
Can I get a motion to table this, please?
I'll make a motion to table. This to the November 13th meeting.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to table the unsafe and dangerous structure conversation over 310 Hiawatha. Is there any further discussion? Not done.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed.
I
Motion passed 4-0. Patrick, you're up next.
How are you this evening? Good evening, but glad to be here. You guys should have back in front of you for a commission action report to purchase the fire department a new first response for dump truck. I sent out 4 bids, Bulldog apparatus never got me a bid back. On Red Fire out of Olathe, Then sent a bid back for $258,024. Hayes Fire and Rescue out of Hayes, Kansas, was $168,338. And Hyman Fire out of South Dakota gave me a bid for between $205,000 and $202,000. The funds for this would be reallocated from the building addition that's not feasible to build it.
Was this truck will fit in there, gas station or not?
This truck would actually be replacing the 1990 BMC.
Yeah, I know that, but will this new one fit in the building?
It will fit in the building. Yes, this new one will fit in the building. Brad and I have talked, we had some conversation about putting either the current truck or what would have to be this current, so the current 1990 out of the water plant.
Yeah, I remember that part. But I didn't know this would fit in there.
Yeah. They don't fit in the Hayes fire truck. I've reviewed the Conrad Firewood. It has everything we have on it, or that we would need for it. The Hyman fire truck, the one thing it was missing, the front monitor, we can spray from, we can control the water from inside the cab of the truck. Since they gave me that bid back, I didn't go back to them and ask to have them put that on there because it was already over the current bids and expired.
Difference between the two companies.
Brad was pretty adamant they didn't want to do business. So, we're a small town of America, and they just didn't really.
Our money still counts.
It was very,
We used to truck a lot less than Big City.
yeah, they were, and it was just a similar, almost identical truck. They're just proper. They can sell them though, Southern Johnson County and all the, the bigger fire departments, all that for that kind of.
Did they say what the lead time would be on this thing?
When I talked to him 2 months ago, it was April of next year. No, I haven't talked to him since. Hayes Fire, if this was to be approved for tonight, they would require the $50,000 down to go into the agreement with them. That's the initial down payment of it, and the remaining balance of compensation.
And they still got the 2023 frames left.
I haven't talked.
I know there was a difference between it.
There was gonna be about a $10,000 difference between 2023 and 2024. I'm assuming that since we're still in 2023 and there's still 2.5 months left in the year, we're gonna have the 2023 model laying around.
Is there anything else you need to add?
No, initially these funds were budgeted obviously for, the addition improvement to the former gas station, and then that wasn't, funding for that. This was kind of the next item that was really on the agenda for replacement. And so we intend to, in 2024, apply for a CDBG grant, for the fire station addition. I think we'd be really competitive on it. And typically those are 50-50 grants. So when you can have the interest.
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me?
And Unified, what we do for Unified.
Take it out of the water department.
Okay, that's right.
So if it's still be a backup type thing.
Yeah, they'll still be used as backup. It will not be used as first truck in the field. We was at a combine fire, and I think I had that on there. I was watching, I had the crew fighting the combine fire, and then that truck was out fighting the soybean on fire. I was standing on top of the hill watching it. And the lights dimmed on the truck, and the guys had just become accustomed to it, pulled away from it, got out, got the fire hose out, sprayed the radiator down, got back in the truck, right back to my truck.
So what's the problem?
But I just wanted to see, because that was the real true first test that we've had since we've had a lot of the replacements done to it. And I watched the rear lights start to dim on it, and then I could see the LEDs on top of the truck start to dim, and you could see the truck was making a hard right turn, and it came out in the middle of the field. Guy in the passenger seat jumped out, grabbed the fire hose and sprayed out the radiator.
Then it starts running okay. Yeah, start running just fine again. They went right back in there, to fight fire. No.
By the way, I see that you added 2 firefighters as well, so that's
Yes.
exciting.
Yes, that is exciting.
You know, that's just a sign, totally unrelated to.
And you have 18 now.
This will make 18.
Well, I would like to make a motion to approve the purchase of a new fire truck from Hayes Fire in an amount of $168,000, $333. Or $168,333. I can't. You know.
Second.
You all knew what it was. It's been moved and seconded to approve the purchase of a new fire truck. Is there any further discussion? No.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay,
Motion passed 3-1.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being persistent, Patrick. We'll give you that. That also, to me, is a good leader for your firefighters, to know that you're gonna do what it takes to get what you believe is what's gonna keep you safe. So
We keep well gets grease, but it also gets replaced.
it also gets very annoying, but you know. Moving on to new business, number 3, city annual audit bids.
So our contract, it was a 5-year contract with Burbridge and Trahan. They were auditors through the 2022 audit, which was presented this past summer. And so we went out to bid for a new 5-year contract. Burbridge and Trahan actually chose not to bid. And then we received bids from 3 other auditing firms. The low bid was Marty Associates, and very competitive, without a single audit, which we will have a single audit every year. But without it, 13,000, with the single audit, 17,500. And the reason we'll have a single audit is that all of the funding, federal funding that we have for our sewer projects and things like that, if it's over $750,000, then you have to have a single audit. So it will likely be 17,500 a year for our audit, which is less than what we were paying with Burbridge and Trahan. That was budgeted at 20,500. So that's great for the budget savings. They have substantial experience with municipalities. They also work with the school district here, and they're very happy with their services. One thing that I really liked about their proposal is that they stated that they're here for us year round. You know, there's no additional expense for that. You know, in the past, it's been kind of hard to get something from our auditors outside of just the time of the audit. So I really appreciated that they made it a point to say, you know, reach out whenever and where your help is. So I think we feel really good about it. And we would ask for approval of the 5-year audit contract with Barney and Associates.
Excuse me, did BT indicate why they didn't bid?
I don't know if they really said why. I would assume it's just the size of our city. And then also our audit manager, she doesn't have a ton of experience with municipalities. So I think there's a little bit of frustration on both our end and her end, and not feeling like, you know, she was familiar enough with like the staff, maybe ask a question and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it was just a matter of, it just didn't really fit for them right now.
Well, I know at Brown County Special Ed, we've been very happy. Barney Associates, they are efficient. They give us plenty of lead time, knowing what exactly they need. They follow up. I've had 0 complaints. I think we've gone with them for 3 years, I think, so. Or whatever that's worth. So anyway, I would entertain a motion.
I think a motion to approve the 5-year audit contract with Barney Associates for the 2023-2027 audit.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 5-year audit contract with Barney and Associates. Any further discussion? Not on.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
All opposed?
Motion passed 4-0. Moving on to aquatic park bids.
And I am presenting this tonight because Stacy is in full on Halloween mode. I went by there earlier today and yeah, she was sweating away getting stuff done. So
She does on a weekend.
I know, yeah. So I told her I'd go ahead and present this for her. So this item came up when we discussed reallocation of some of our ARPA funds because what we had allocated for wasn't really gonna work for projects going forward. And so we talked about wanting to do something that really had a visible impact to the community, rather than just, pipes in the ground and things that people don't see. And, here's how we're spending these funds that we received. And so we had budgeted $60,000 in ARPA funding for these specific pool projects, which are essentially repainting and maintenance of several features, including the slide tower, slide, and mushroom spray feature. So Stacy went out for bid and she received 2 responses. One was from Splashtacular in Paola, who she has actually worked with quite a bit in the past. I think she was mildly disappointed that that wasn't the low bid. But then we also got one back from Amusement Restoration Companies. She did a lot of research on them, to make sure they're a good company, had great references from them, and they were substantially lower than Splashtacular. The one big difference between the 2 bids, besides price, is that Splashtacular said that they may be able to do something in the fall. Now I think that wouldn't have happened anyway, just given where we're at. Whereas Amusement Restoration Companies said that it would be in the spring. They didn't have any confidence that they could get anything done this fall, which is not a problem. Obviously, we've got plenty of time, before pool opening to get the project done. Said she had great reference checks and is excited about them. And so their total for the project was $44,584. And so my recommendation would be to accept the bid from Amusement Restoration Companies for the improvements. Not bad.
Is the remainder of money, since we budgeted or allocated 60,000, is going to be going towards other?
Yes, we'll have to figure out what we're gonna do with the other 15,000.
It's a good problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the bid from Amusement Restoration Companies LLC for water park improvements in the amount of $44,584.
Second.
And moved in second to accept the bid. Is there any further discussion?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 4-0. Brad, you're up next to sell us an excavator.
So after discussion and, some thought and some research on what to do with the excavator that we currently own, I believe that it is in the city's best interest to sell it. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's gonna cost us more money in the long run to own that excavator than it is for us to keep it for any reason. I don't think that we're gonna be able to do enough work with it to justify us having it. And so what I would propose is that we sell this excavator. We need to clear the backlog of what work that we do have left to do first, and then which won't add really many hours to what we currently have. It won't really affect the value of the excavator at all. It'll just, we do have some work that's left to do. One house for sure that needs to be torn down, and maybe some more coming into that, but after that, I believe that we can sell the excavator for more than what we own, quite a bit more than what we own. And we've recommended that we put a minimum price on this for $120,000. And I don't think that we're gonna have any trouble getting at least that for it. So that would be my recommendation, is that we sell this piece of equipment just for the sheer fact that, it's hard to justify a piece of equipment that will likely set for long periods of time. That's not expensive.
Have we got back from the repair shop yet?
We should be, Sean heard from them on Friday, and so it still sounds like the first week of November, which would be next week. So they have all the parts and they have it in the shop, so we should be getting it back really quickly.
And you said we have a backlog of one house.
We have one house and we have some other properties that we've been talking about, but we have one house for sure. It's one of them, 114.
And there one on Miami Street across from the Public Works building.
That very well could be, yes.
Might be committed that.
Okay.
There's no one by school, but there's still people.
And so once we clear that backlog, that's when Because we don't actually put a lot of hours on it every time we do that, so it won't affect the value.
Well, the fact that we have a trailer to move it is.
Yeah.
If you don't think that we're gonna use it.
With the regulations that we have coming down in sewer, water, we're gonna spend a lot of our personal time. You know, either meeting these regulations or working those areas, and plus. With what we need to do to the streets, I just don't see that we can do enough big projects to justify those.
Motion,
I'll make a motion to approve, accepting sealed bids for the sale of the case CX 145D excavator with minimum price of $120,000.
it's been moved and seconded to to approve accepting sealed bids for the excavator. Is there any further discussion?
Brad, have we just contacted Purple Wave just to see what they think they could get out of it by chance?
If you can hear me. Brian has something to say. Brian, can you repeat that? Please?
I just wondered if we had talked to Purple Wave to see what they thought they might be able to get for the case loader.
I have not. We've been checking price on the few different ones that documents, research, I guess, kind of want to be safe to be listed where I think it lives all like that. Was about. But I don't get quite that much for it, but I think.
I can hear you better if you go over to the mic, Brad. Sorry.
I think that we can get at least 124 there. I have. I'd be surprised if we did.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, now you can vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All opposed?
Motion passed 4-0. Moving on to number 6, thank you, Brad. Resolution number 2023-18.
And I apologize, it was a late ad. I was in Maui last week, and so we had a little bit of a struggle getting the packet together because I was not able to get on our VPN.
No.
So, this authorizes the KHRC MIH grant application again. Of course, we did this back in May. We were not successful in our application. We did have a great meeting with one of the members of KHRC that actually grades the applications, and he had some really good feedback for us all, and we're feeling really good about it. I'll also note that we had our first Housing Rehabilitation Board meeting the week before last, and it was really good. The members of the board are they have a lot of energy and excitement around the issue, and so we went through and discussed what our CDBG application would look like for the CDBG housing rehab. And then briefly talked about this. So we're making progress in housing. So I would love it if you all would approve this resolution so we can submit our application.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 2023-8.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 2023-18. Any further discussion? Not done.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 4-0. Moving on to communications.
You all have the Chamber's October newsletter in there. Take note of the list of the many Halloween events. October being a really big month for Hiawatha, so that's exciting. Parks and Recreation Convention. Stacy went to a convention down in Dallas. It was an entire week down there, just with all of her Parks and Rec fellow Wesley Noakes. And so, of course, she had a fantastic time. She's come back incredibly energized, and she gave you all that report to look through. I think it's great that she had the opportunity to do it. She's got some just fantastic ideas, and our Parks and Rec would not be what it is without somebody, without Stacy and the dedication and energy that she puts into that position. And so I'm just very grateful to have her and appreciate her report. And I'm glad she got so much out of the conference.
I really like the quote that she shared with me. That was one of their keynotes. Said, stop thinking about your parks as amenities. They are crucial infrastructure that give your community value. They are an investment. I just thought that was, I told her she needed to put that on the side. put it in her
Yeah.
Office, so
Yeah.
she sees that, but
Well, and I mean, that's one of the first things when you look at, trying to attract employers or businesses to your community. I mean, you have to have a full recreation life and things for people to do in your community. They want to see that community cohesiveness, they want to see activity. So yeah, it's huge to have a Parks and Rec program that is robust as ours is, especially for a community of our size.
anything else on our monthly reports?
Monthly reports, we've just got the 2023 municipal court, September 2023 municipal court report, September fire run report, September income statement, treasurer's report, revenue and expense report. Just to note, I know that these reports are very long and we have a lot of zeros. So we are going to go through and try and figure out a way to consolidate and condense those reports a little bit more so they're not as arduous to go through, but just haven't gotten to it yet. So that is on my list of to-dos.
All right, moving on to governing body comments. Since we're talking all Parks and Rec right now, I really encourage you, and I can't find it somewhere, I think on their website. It's really fun. Community thing that they've done is a thrift art, Halloween art, where you get these old paintings that you would buy in a thrift store, and then the people who've done this have made it Halloween-ish. And now if you go on the website, you can vote for your spookiest, most creative, and there's a third one, you vote by emojis. Anyway, it's cute, and it's just, there were several. Did you see how many there were?
Oh, no, but I'm shocked at how big people are.
I know, listen, there's some really good ones. I think they're gonna be displayed around here, aren't they? Maybe, or Stacy's gonna display them in the, in the lobby of the Fisher Center. And all I know is I can't go anywhere near the Fisher Center with my yoga class because it's all Halloween for the next 2 weeks.
So, and I will just know it's not the website that's on, it's on
That's it.
Facebook, because our website is
Facebook.
terrible and
That's
we're
what-
still working through it. And I still hoping for December, launch of our new site. So
It's just the HPNR Facebook page.
yes.
So you can go on there and vote, I think up to the 29th. So the last thing I'm gonna do is a little bit self-serving. I have 2 kids, Jordan Hodge and Holly Rocky, who qualified for state cross country. So they're gonna be competing on Saturday at Rimrock. And I want to celebrate the kids who have the success. And so I just wanted to point them out as well. So that's it. That's all I have. Brian, you have anything?
I do not.
Dave?
I'd like to just take a moment to remember Mary Ann Schmidt. She was a former commissioner at one time some time back. She volunteered for many things around town, was on many boards, was very active in our community and had her own business for a long time. And was an avid K-State fan. So I want to take a moment to remember that. I want to report that the tree board planted 42 cedar trees at Vernon Park. 42 to add to the windbreak around the more soccer field. They're small, but maybe someday you'll see them. That's all.
Evans?
Everything was covered that I was gonna talk about, so. I'm not there, so,
We'll make you go first this time.
okay.
Tony is homesick, so moving on to an adjournment. Motion
But we adjourn.
Second.
moved and second to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passes 4-0.
It's all.